my crafty friends. NanaKaye here with NanaKayeDesigns.com and the Ultra Book Nook. Today, let's get our winter journal out again and let's work on another simple project but makes a very unique difference to your book. When you're working with digital kits, you have just a lot of beautiful pages in your book like this. And of course, you can write on this whatever you want to do. But I like to actually take this and make it a more useful page than just plain writing on it. So what we're going to do with this page here is we're going to print on a medium cardstock, a 65 pound up to 110 pound, that's up to you, cardstock. We're going to print 3 of these. I've already printed my 3 here just to save time. So my 3 are printed, but you're going to print 3 exact copies. From these, we're going to make a pocket, a tuck spot, and a card, a journal card. So I'm going to show you what I've already done on the similar notes so you get an idea where we're going. This is a page very similar to that one that was flat, but what we did is we used it and cut out and made a journaling card, like so. We made the pocket and we've made the tuck spot out of that same thing. So when you actually open the book, you look at it, and it looks just like the page, but there is a usefulness to the page. Instead of it just being for journaling, you can actually tuck things in and write on it too. And it makes a large, much larger journaling space by adding the lined paper to it in a fold. You can decorate this extra stuff if you want. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Real simple task. Let's get busy. Follow along with me. It's not hard. It's a very simple task. I gotta find my page though and pull it out so we can work with it. And I'm bad about losing pages. Okay, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna take it off here, lay it aside, lay all this aside so we can come back to it in a few minutes. Okay. Somebody's knocking on my door. Can y'all give me just a second? Okay guys, I'm back. As I was saying, we're going to take this picture here and utilize it into one like this. So we're gonna do a pocket, a tuck, maybe just a digital lay down. It's just a digital art to make it kind of 3-dimensional, and then the card to match the very background. All right, so let's flip this over and let's get going. Now the first thing we're going to make, let me make sure I got a good card for the card, so that's good. First thing we're going to do is make the pocket. And I took a duplicate a stencil of another pocket or envelope somebody did, and what I did was just kind of measured it to what I wanted to get, how deep I want the pocket really. And I don't want this one as deep as I did that one because the squirrel took up a lot of space, but this is the area we're really wanting to concentrate on this one. So I am actually going to move this one down quite a bit. I'm not going to make the pocket quite as large. Let me make sure I'm right. I don't want it to be quite as large. So I'm going to bring that, all I'm after is a scallop, okay, edge. Just got to be above that. So probably, and I want to make sure we're straight when I cut it. So that's probably where I'm going to cut this at right here. Okay, find my pencil. Make sure I got about the same amount of space here and here. And I have got to lay this on the lines, guys, to make sure, because I'm a little bit off. So I know my top is straight, so I'm going to line it up on that top right there. Okay, and then I'm going to line this flap up so that I'm making sure my scallop is straight. And I'm going to just trace the pattern on the template that I have here. Okay, so there's the template cut. And then I need these 2 edges trimmed up just a tiny bit. So we'll get my trusty ruler down. Again, I know my top and bottom are straight. This is not straight edge, so I'm not going to concentrate on that. I'm going to concentrate on just the straight edges. And then I want to cut it off just a tiny bit. I'm going to cut it here. And I'm going to cut this side just a tiny bit also. So I'm going to move it over, line it up. I want to cut about the same amount off each side here. Line my ruler up, and I'm going to draw the line all the way down. Okay, so this is where I'm going to cut the pocket out right here. So I'm going to start with a straight line. And we're going to get up in here, and I'm going to start cutting the pocket. Okay, so now I've got the pocket cut out. I'm going to lay this aside because I may need some of that art. Okay, so there's the pocket. It's going to fit beautifully right on this page. Okay, now when I get ready to glue down, I'm going to try to line it up because what I want to do is mimic the same page that we've got here. So we are going to want to line up the lines, and I want to stay away from this edge some. Try to get everything right in the same place. It looks like it's going to come right there, right there. That looks like it is absolutely exactly where we need it. And that looks like this is a little longer, and I don't know why it would be, but that's okay. We're going to cut it off. But I'm lining the berries up. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue my pocket down while I've got it held in place. I'm just going to turn it up, put my edge there, and I'm not going to do the bottom. Well, yeah, we will do the bottom a little ways up because we know we're going to cut a little bit of that off. That side back down, make sure again that it's lined where we want it. Pull this side up, and this way I've actually got it exactly where I want it. Now I could also have made pencil marks where I needed it to go. That's strictly up to you guys. This way I don't have to erase anything. Everything is in line. Just one more time, make sure it's perfectly lined up. And when you mash that flat, you cannot see the difference between this and this. When it's mashed flat, it looks like it's still one flat piece of paper, but you actually have a pocket there. All right, then I'm going to go in and carefully cut the excess off. Don't know why there's excess, and it's done it with both of them that I've done, so I'm not going to worry about it. But now I have a good pocket there. All right, so now my pocket is done. Now you could, if you wanted a little bit of distinction there, you can actually, if you want to, put your edge this out a little, and it's going to make a distinction a little bit. So that's just strictly up to you. If you want it to just completely hide, you wouldn't want to ink that edge, but if you don't mind, if you want a distinction, then you ink your edge. Either way is fine with me. Okay, next we're going to do a little tuck with our actual graphic that we have. So what I'm going to come in and do is just kind of cut my graphic out like this. And you don't have to cut as much of it as is there. You can cut more or less. You can cut it square. You don't have to have it cut out just as a graphic. I kind of like my tuck just to kind of look three-dimensional on the page. So I do cut it out along the outline of the actual image. But in fact, let me show you what you can. I'm going to show you two ways you can do it on this one piece. Now you can actually make your tuck like this and keep this bottom part, or you can make this into a small pocket. This is strictly up to you, like this, see? Or you can come back and go ahead and cut out the whole unit and just make a small tuck. I am going to absolutely make it into just kind of a little pocket type tuck here. The other one I cut out the complete graphic design, stuck it on it, but it was a lot larger. Like I said, the squirrel was a lot larger than this piece here. So I'm going to cut this one off and just glue this bottom half down. I am going to make it more of a square at the bottom. But still, this process is the same whether you cut it all out or not. So now I'm going to put this here, like this, and I'm only going to glue this little bit here, so that gives me my tuck in the front of my pocket. It's really a tuck or a small pocket, whichever one you want to call it. I do not care what you call it. It's just a way to utilize these beautiful pages and still make them very useful. Okay, so back into our graphic design. And see, I'm trying to line it right up with the actual page so it doesn't look so strange. And there we go. Now this does come over a little, but that's okay. And this goes more into my border than I like it to, because, you know, I like to leave this bind open a little bit so that we don't get so fat. But 1 image or two is not going to matter. Okay, so now we've got a little tuck spot done. Let's let that dry good. I keep pushing it up, but that's our tuck. You'll be able to put a little something in there if you want to. Now let's work on our card. Card's the easy thing. Okay, what I do is I kind of line this up where this is, like here. And I decide in my mind how wide I need it. So the pocket goes in just a little ways right here. I'm on screen, a little ways here. So I am going to probably start out cutting this much of the card off right here, which is probably a ½ inch, I'm going to say. Might be an inch, but I think it's a ½ inch. And then the same thing on this side, I want to come in about a ½ inch, so probably right about here. So I've got them kind of marked. All right, so I'm going to lay this first mark here. I know my paper's even here and here, so I'm going to use my line here. And I'm going to cut my first piece here. Now, the thing about cutting is, if you're not sure, only cut half of that to start with. And just slowly cut. But I think this is about right for me. I think that's what I had to cut off. The other one was a ½ inch, so there. And this one I didn't measure all the way down, but I can pretty much eyeball that being on a line. Again, I'm going to measure my top and bottom because they should be cut even. Line it up, make sure that it's going to fall right on that line that I marked. And it did. And then, whoops, good thing I had it marked that way, wasn't it? Alright, go that way, cut it off. Get this little edge off because I don't want it to show outwardly. It's going to give me a hard time, so we'll just trim it. Alright, so now there's the base of the card. We have to make sure it's going to fit, and it does. Now it's too tall. It's too tall for the design, so now we're going to come in and we're going to cut off 1/2 inch off the bottom to start with. If we need to cut more off, we can cut more off. But I'm going to take a ½ inch off this bottom. And if I have to cut more off, we'll take the ½ inch off the top. Let's go see what we got. Let's see if this pocket's going to line, this part's going to line into our design like it should. And it does almost perfectly. There you go. Now, it fits all the way to the top of the design. If you don't want that, you can cut a little bit off, and we're going to. All right, we're going to cut another ½ inch off the top. It could be a 1/4 inch, ½ inch, whatever. I'm going with a ½ inch off the top, like this. I didn't slide that. Make sure it didn't slip. All right, so ½ inch off the top, and now there's our card sliding into place. It matches up perfectly with the design, and that's what you have. All right, so there's your card. Your journaling card. Now, to make my journaling cards, I do a little bit different than a lot of people. I like to make fold outs. So I have absolutely take a lined piece of paper, and how I make my lined paper is I actually have some lined blanks, and I lay them over the top of some of the patterns that I'm working with. So I do have lined papers in my shop. If you go to the Etsy shop, some of the lined paper are there. It's there in the kits. And if you can't find what you're looking for, you can always write me and ask me. Now it looks like I've cut a little off this edge, but that's okay. We're going to actually just glue this card. Take this card, and I use my stick glue for big pieces like this, and then I use my Very Arts glue just to go around the edges a little, just to make sure I've got a good strong edge here, but I do like my printed paper down really tight against my card. And I did use a lighter cardstock on this, okay? So I'm going to line it up on this edge closely as I can without any white sticking out, okay? Oh, it lined up much better that time, okay? So that's that. I'm going to press the glue really tight. And I didn't add the very arch glue to it, so maybe that held it tight. What I do is I go around and check my edges to make sure it's all down, all the way around, before I start anything. Okay, I got a little bit of hangover right here, and that does make a difference, so you might want to come in and just trim that off. All right, I got a lot of hangover here we're not going to worry about yet. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold your whole thing over, and you're going to try to line up the fold where it comes out right at the edge of the card. A little bit of practice to make this perfect, but you'll get there. All right? So now we're right along the edge. Make sure we're straight at the bottom, straight at the top. We're not really straight because the lines aren't lining up, so I'm going to move it a little. That's more straight, and that's coming out too far on this edge, so we're going to push it a little bit more that way, and we may have to trim the top card. All right, I'm just going to leave it at this. I think this looks good. This looks good. Okay. All right, we're really nice along that edge there, a little bit sticking out right here. Be very careful if you're going to trim it. Don't cut the fold. Don't cut that fold. Make sure I didn't cut the fold. I didn't. All right, so next we're going to bring this piece in. Now you can either cut this piece off or you can just bring it in for a little extra. You can bring it in like this. You can make it another, glue it down, make another pocket inside if you want. I just, on this particular design, I just left it as part of the writing. There's your card. Okay, then I'm going to come in here. Make sure it's straight. Come in here. I'm a little edgy on that one, but I'm not going to worry. I'm going to come in and I'm going to take it off right at the top. I don't need this on here anymore. Take it off. Okay, so now the last thing I do is edge it off. I like corners that are round. This kind of finishes the design to me, makes it look more complete. That's all I'm going to do here. This is not a long video today, guys, but you can now know what to do with all these beautiful flat photos that you've got here. And when you don't want to cover them up with something, now you know how to cover them up and get your pocket and all that you want without losing this beautiful design. Okay, now we're going to slide the card in and see what we have. See if it's going to slide in place, and it does, and it matches beautifully, and it lines up with the whole design. So that's what we've got. Now you still got room here to tuck a little something in. I don't know what I'm going to put there yet. It would be small, like a ticket or something, and I've got everything so strung out. But look, I've got these gorgeous little stamps. If you just wanted to add a little something but nothing large, you could go in and give the person that you're giving the book to just a couple little stamps or something. And that's all I would do. Just a couple little things in the front so that they know there's a pocket there. That's all you got to do is tuck a few things in there. And there you have it, guys. There's our design, and that's actually taking a design and making it useful instead of it just being a writing spot like this one. Let me roll it down so you can see it on the camera. I've made a spot. Now, I'm going to do this to every single one of my decorative pages because that gives me so much more writing spots inside of my book. So that's what I'm going to be doing the next few days. So let's get it back in our journal. We had taken it from, I laid the bird sideways, so let's put it in there. And now there's this one. And I haven't put anything in the tuck in here. Lined up, there's that page. And then we flip all the way back over to this page. So that's NanaKaye saying, I hope you got a little bit of a tip there. I hope you enjoyed today. It's Monday, beautiful sunny day here in Eastern North Carolina. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching. And please comment and subscribe if you will. It helps my monetization. Thank you very much. Bye bye.